Oh, hello, friends. I didn't know you were coming tonight. Welcome to Harry's Corner. And I'm enjoying a cigar tonight. And the topic that I wanted to talk about tonight was people who are new to pipe smoking, but also cigar smoking. And it's a topic that I see posted a lot on internet forums like the Reddit pipe tobacco subreddit and cigar and pipe forums. And the question is, why can't I taste my tobacco? And like I say, it's mainly a thing that afflicts newcomers. And I can think of three reasons why you can't taste your tobacco. I'm mainly speaking to pipe smokers, but the majority of it will apply to cigar smokers too. So, the number one reason, the first reason I should say, and perhaps an obvious one that we'll get out of the way quickly, is that you've got a cold. Okay? So, if you have a bit of a cold, your sinuses are stuffed up, it's going to affect the way that you taste your tobacco. So, it can either very much dull the flavor of the tobacco or it can eliminate it entirely. So I don't tend to get colds very often, but when I do, I find that it really impacts the way that I can taste the smoke of my tobacco. So there's even been times when I've been able to taste my food and my coffee, but I cannot taste the smoke, whether it be pipe or cigar. And I think it's to do with the smoke is a little bit thinner, and a bit more ephemeral, and maybe it hits the taste buds in a different way, and it's a bit more subtle. So what you could do to try and eliminate this is you could take a hot shower, or you could do like a vapor bath to try and open up the sinuses. If you are a snuff bro, a little bit of snuff can go some way towards opening up the old sinuses, especially if it's mentholated. Um, so things to open up the sinuses, and maybe that will go some way towards helping you taste the tobacco if you have a bit of a cold. However, sometimes there's nothing for it except you have to wait out the cold. Lots of fluids, bros, lots of sleep, um, and certain things like raw garlic. And I know it's going to make you reek, but raw garlic is really good for getting over a cold. Oregano oil, make sure you dilute that, bros, if you're taking that. Manuka honey, things like that. It's going to help you get over your cold, and that's going to help you taste your tobacco again. Now, the second reason you may not taste your tobacco is, and this is for pipe smokers in particular, it could be a packing issue, the way that you're packing your bowl. Now, it could be that you're packing your bowl too tightly or too loosely. Now, the result is the same. The result is a smoke that is too hot. So, if you pack a bowl too loosely, there's too much air between the strands of tobacco, and that makes a very hot flame, and it burns very quickly. And obviously, that produces a lot of heat, which produces a hot smoke. Now, if the smoke is too hot, it's simply going to burn your tongue, burn the roof of your mouth, and it's going to shut off your ability to taste the smoke. On the opposite end, if you pack too tightly, a couple of things could happen. It could be that you're simply not getting enough smoke through the draft hole to actually taste it, or it could be again that it's producing too much heat because you're sucking on that thing, really trying to get the smoke through, and it's producing a lot of heat because of that. And again, the smoke is coming through hot, and you burn your mouth. For that reason, you can't taste it. So, if you think it could be an issue with packing, I have made a video on packing, so you can look back through the old channel archives. Now, essentially, what I say is that I go over packing with ribbon and I go over packing with flake, and the methods are a little bit different, but the result is the same. When you're packing a ball, you want a tight plug at the top, a tight plug of tobacco at the top of the bowl, and as that bowl goes down towards the bottom, the tobacco is a little bit more loosely packed, and what that means is that there's enough contact between the leaf of tobacco at the top to provide a continuous burn, but also enough room at the bottom to allow the smoke to come through. Um, so yeah, and also the tamping method, which is rather than tamping straight down, using the tamper at an angle to tamp from the side of the bowl into the center, which creates this little kind of cone, which helps the tobacco to burn evenly, and recreate the tight plug of tobacco at the top as that plug burns away. So do check out that video if you think the packing is an issue. Now the last reason that I can think of, and I think probably the reason affecting most people, is simply that tobacco is an acquired taste. Now, obviously, as children, we don't smoke tobacco, hopefully, God willing. And because of the way that tobacco is viewed, especially over the last few decades, you probably haven't been exposed to tobacco very much. We don't tend to smell it very much in the public space. Restaurants and bars now are smoke free. You probably didn't smell tobacco on your granddad or your dad growing up. So it's a new taste, and tobacco is an acquired taste, and we need to be exposed to the taste to begin to pick up on the subtleties of the flavor and just the flavor itself. So I notice, even I've been smoking a pipe for about 2+ years now, and cigars a little bit less. But even as I continue to smoke, and particularly get to know a certain blend over time, even then the subtleties of the blend come out over time, and the taste can change. So I think if you're a newcomer to smoking a pipe and you are having trouble tasting your tobacco, I think it's simply an issue of lack of exposure. Now, I remember reading something about acquired tastes, and I think, if I remember correctly, the study said that on average it's about 14 exposures to the taste to acquire that taste. So I say, give it 15 bowls, lads. If you're having trouble, give it 15 bowls and see how you're doing after that. Okay, so they're the 3 reasons that I can think of. You've got a cold, you're packing too tightly or too loosely and producing a very hot smoke that's burning your mouth, or, which I think is most probable, you are simply new to the taste and you need to acquire the taste through repeated exposure. So I hope that helps, lads. I'm going to get back to reading a little Dune Messiah and getting back to this lovely cigar, which is a AJ Fernandez New World Dorado Toro. So God bless, lads, and enjoy your smokes.